Love, Pride. Proudly presented by Pet Food Express and Broadway San Jose.
We celebrate the love and hope, love, pride. It's on display. More than 200 same-sex couples tying the knot. What a joyous occasion. We celebrate you, San Francisco City Hall.
I think it's important for people in other parts of the country, in small towns and red states, to be able to see couples like us getting married, celebrating pride, and knowing that they're not alone.
That's really it right now, right? You're not alone. Welcome back. I'm joined by Manny of the iconic Manny's in San Francisco today. If you're watching from out of town and you're planning to come visit us, go to Manny's. So what does pride mean to you in the face of so many anti-LGBTQ plus bills around the country?
Well, in particular, today, I was feeling very proud of my city.
Yeah.
I spent yesterday afternoon dancing and jiving and moving around Dolores Park, and there were thousands of people there, all shapes and sizes,
right,
all colors and creeds, women and men dancing together in unison, loving each other. And it made me really proud of San Francisco. Our city is not just a place, it's a symbol. It means something to people. And I'm feeling very proud of it. It's been through a lot over the last 3-4 years. And it feels alive right now. And for me personally, I grew up in an ultra-Orthodox Jewish family in Los Angeles, and I knew I was gay from a very young age. And I was very scared. Once I realized I was gay, I wasn't sure what the future held for me. I know a lot of people have had similar experiences.
Kid from Roosevelt, Utah, raised in a conservative Mormon family, scared to death. In fact, I wondered if I would be fired for being out on TV. So I always get weepy on days like this, that I'm here and we're able to tell these stories.
Well, what allowed you to overcome that?
A deep breath and a lot of allies letting me know I was safe, right? Which is why allies are so important.
Well, part of what let me come through my experience and my journey was this place, was San Francisco. I moved here 11 years ago, and the city gave me the strength that I needed to be and live my true self.
Well, and you saw scenes like this. Let's in fact go live right now to Kelsey. She's on the parade route. Kelsey, we're mindful of so many allies who are out there right now marching down Market Street. It's important that the world sees allies, is it not?
Yeah, of course. That is a huge part of any pride parade. It's not just people who identify as LGBTQ. It's also their parents, their family members, anyone else that supports them in their life. Of course, that is a huge thing. And another thing in this is the fight for marriage equality. Of course, that's something that a lot of people have been discussing lately, given what happened last year with Roe v. Wade. And here in California, there has been a very particular fight when it comes to the battle for same-sex marriage. Of course, people who have lived in the state for a long time remember Prop 8, but many may not realize that Prop 8 is still on the books. It was overturned back in 2013, but is still in the Constitution. And that is why there is a growing movement by a lot of politicians here in California to try and erase that from the Constitution for good. Now, I actually got the chance to interview the couple who originally fought for the right to marry and overturned Prop 8 back in 2013. And Reed, I'm telling you, I don't get starstruck when I interview people much, but when I talked to these two women, it was very impressive, their story. And we spoke with them about that fight and what it means to see potentially Prop 8 leave the Constitution altogether in the future.
It was 10 years ago this June that Chris Perry and Sandy Steer were finally able to get married.
See how many people just filled up the city hall somehow.
So you had lots of people at our wedding, but we didn't know most of them.
You may recognize Perry's last name from the Supreme Court case Hollingsworth v. Perry. Chris and Sandy were one of two couples who sued the state of California over Proposition 8.
So many people were devastated by the passage of Prop 8 and it was shocking. It literally, I don't think even the morning we woke up after the election, we could really believe that it had happened.
Prop 8, passed by California voters in 2008, banned same-sex marriage in the state. Chris and Sandy, who by that point had been together for years and had 4 kids, knew they wanted to do something to fight it, but weren't sure at the time exactly how.
Lucky for us that there were people thinking about how to fix it while everybody else was walking around going, oh no, this is a nightmare. And we were lucky to be contacted by them to be plaintiffs in the case.
Over the next 5 years, Chris, Sandy, and their lawyers battled it out in the courts, eventually making it all the way to the Supreme Court in 2013, where they won. and soon after, officially tied the knot.
It was a beautiful day. We had the one son with us. Everybody else was off far away, living in different cities or traveling. Chris's mother was able to come. She had been shopping nearby. And the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir, fortunately, a bunch of them showed up and just serenaded us on the steps as a wonderful surprise. And it was a beautiful, if not a surprise, wedding.
Now, a decade later, Chris and Sandy are like any other couple. Their kids are grown and out of the house. They spend their weekends making tea, going to lunch, and local shows. But recently, Prop 8 has been back in the news.
The fact that this discriminatory language exists in the California Constitution, in a place like California that espouses acceptance and inclusivity, I think is something that we have to overturn.
Tony Huang with Equality California, along with several local lawmakers, are pushing for Prop 8 to be wiped from the state constitution once and for all.
In particular, advocates came together and really looked at how do we rectify this stain in the California Constitution after the Dobbs decision last year that rolled back Roe v. Wade.
Activists worry LGBTQ rights could slide backwards given the current political climate and want to make sure same-sex marriage is protected in the state moving forward. Chris and Sandy agree it's a good idea, but wish it wasn't necessary.
I want it out of the Constitution, but I don't like the idea that voters out there are looking at an issue and thinking, maybe I want to discriminate against my fellow citizens again. Maybe that's how I actually feel.
Both Chris and Sandy told me they do feel like a lot has changed for the LGBTQ community between 2008 and now. They're hopeful that if this went on the ballot, voters would choose to rescind Prop 8. And while they say they're so proud to have been a part of history in overturning the law, they'll be even more excited on the day they don't have to talk about it as much anymore.
We were just saying, if for any reason whatsoever there was another trial or another case associated with Proposition 8 for whatever reason, it would be a younger person's fight. You're like, we're not doing I don't think we're the people anymore.
I was going to say it.
Yeah, we did what we could here.
No, a federal lawsuit is a young person's game.
Yeah, it takes
really is.
a lot of energy.
It's like parenting is for young people. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
And Reed, the cool thing is that a lot of that next generation that Chris and Sandy are talking about, are here at the Pride Parade. There are a ton of young activists and advocates here who are showing their pride and also looking to the future to improve things for the LGBTQ community. Reed.
All right, thank you so much. We'll join you back out on the parade route as the parade gets going. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Bringing Manny back in, you have these conversations. It's still amazing to me to know that despite all of the progress, Prop 8 is still on the books. So,
honestly, I had no idea that
a move by the Supreme Court otherwise, and we could see it again, which is why they're making the move to protect marriage equality.
I'm glad that they're cleaning up this language. Prop 8 has a very special, well, not so special place in my heart, but part of my story. It's what brought me to San Francisco for the first time. I was a street canvasser on the corners of San Francisco for the summer, in the summer of 2010.
Wow.
And we were raising money actually for Equality California to bring Prop 8 back on the ballot to strike it down. So it is a stain in our state's history and a very sad moment, but it's also, that fight was a fight that got a lot of young people, including myself, into the fight and aware that our rights are not to be taken for granted, that at any moment, your rights, my rights, Brianna's rights, our community's rights could be taken away, and so we have to constantly be vigilant.
And in California, which was really the flashpoint. A lot of people thought it wouldn't happen in California. Hey, we're going to continue this conversation, but want to remind you how you can be seen in the broadcast. We know you're out there. We know you're watching from all corners of planet Earth. We also are going to be talking about books banned as well. That's coming up, but just a reminder, you can share pictures of your house parties from all over the Bay and beyond. Snap a TV appropriate Pride house party pic posted on Twitter using the hashtag KPIX Hope Love Pride. You might just see yourself on TV. Take a picture of your dog on Pride Day. I'm a big dog fan. Still ahead, our stories define us, and we know that. Book bans are all over the country right now, and we're going to talk about the resistance during Pride Month to these book bans when we come back. Also, we're going to honor somebody who faced bigotry and ended up on national TV on the Ellen DeGeneres show, a former Boy Scout now placing his hands on his heart because there was survival there, the survival story. And then, of course, we're going to be back on the parade route, sending all the love San Francisco has to offer this morning to all corners of planet Earth, watching Pride 2023. Hope, love, pride when we come back.
Pride events, they're like good community and like